something that I failed on from third grade on. And I say third grade because third grade was when I first started feeling feelings for girls and simply did not know what to do with those feelings. But something I was terrible at from third grade through middle school, through high school, through my 20s. And it really wasn't until my 30s that I finally figured out a way to beat this lack of confidence that I would have when I would meet a woman that I was attracted to, or be dating a woman that I wasn't sure if she liked me back. I lacked confidence, and it showed. And that, I would argue, was really the number one factor that ended those relationships in the beginning. Because I had a lot of relationships, well, I wouldn't even call them relationships. I had a lot of dating scenarios where I would start dating somebody, maybe go out on one date, 2 dates, and then it's just over. And I believe a lot of that was my lack of confidence. And I don't think that it's something that we should take lightly as men, because confidence is the number one most attractive thing to women above all other things. So we're going to take a look at really the science of confidence and how to be more attractive instantly with confidence. Now, let's start by saying it really isn't. It's not money, it's not looks, those things will get you so far. But confidence continues to be the number one thing women are seeking. So let's look at the science of it first. Well, according to studies in psychology and neuroscience, it shows that confidence is deeply wired into the human behavior. A 2015 study published in Nature found that confident individuals were more likely to influence group decisions, even when they were wrong. Why? Because people naturally follow certainty. It's that certainty and knowledge. Like, I know this is what we need to do. We should go do this thing. And it's that confidence that really makes you a better leader. It makes people want to follow you. I'm going to give an example of this. There was a time I was sailing a boat from Cape May, New Jersey to New York City, and I was scared to do it. It was very rough seas, that sort of thing. And a friend of mine went with me who is an extremely confident person. And I remember many times thinking to myself, I am so glad he's here. I feel safer. Like, I literally feel safer because he's smiling and having a good time and is very confident in who he is and his ability to pull this task off. And I remember I looked at him, I was like, man, you're always so darn confident. And he looked back at me and smiled. He was like, I know, isn't it great? And he knew it. He knew it was great, and it was true. So, that wasn't an attraction thing. It was just, I wanted to follow him. Like, if I'm going to go through rough seas, that's my guy. Like, he might not have known anything about boats. And this other guy might know everything that you need to know about sailing, but is just kind of doesn't look very confident and maybe is very doubtful and might think we might die kind of thing. I don't want to go with that guy. This is a true fact. And the reality is confidence isn't just mental, it's biological. Because when you are confident, your body releases testosterone. Now, something that this is going to do, it's a hormone linked to dominance, it's a hormone linked to attraction, and low confidence limits testosterone production. So it's really, you have to, for your own biological sake, to boost your testosterone, you got to boost your confidence. For me, sometimes I need a health reason to do a certain thing. Here's your health reason. All right, so what does all this mean? Well, the good news is you can hack your body to be a more confident person if you're not. And I wasn't. That's why I led with that. Like, this is where I failed. Until around my 30s, I finally was like, you know what, I'm a confident guy. I could do this stuff. All right, let's look at what women think about confident men. A survey by Match.com found that women rank confidence as the number one most attractive trait in a man, above looks, height, or wealth. So get that in your head. If you're wanting to attract a woman, the number one thing you can do is build confidence. It's the number one thing you could do. You have to be confident in yourself anyway to be successful in life. You have to be. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. It begins with women, because if you're not confident approaching a woman, you're not going to be confident in a crisis either. Women aren't just attracted to confidence, they're wired to respond to it. According to a study in the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior, showed that men who spoke slowly, maintained eye contact, and used open body language were rated as significantly more attractive. Now, this eye contact is a huge one, because here's what I did from third grade on, is I'd be looking at a girl, oh, and then she'd look at me and I'd go, that does not look confident. And I carried that into my 20s. I'd be looking at a girl maybe in a bar and she'd look over at me and, oh, I gotta look away because I'm scared. Like, I'm scared. What am I scared of? Holding that eye contact, not to a creepy degree, but just holding it long enough to say, yeah, I am looking at you. Be confident. You're looking at her. Don't act like you're not. Act like you are. Now, I do also want to say, before we get away from this, what women think about confidence is, don't be arrogant, quiet, calm, sensible, self-assured, like that sort of, like, you can look confident without being all there. Oh, look, I got a car, I got this, I got that. Like, that's not confident. And I think a lot of time men think arrogance makes them look confident, and it makes you look weak. So get that in your head as well. All right, so let's get into 5 steps to building attractive confidence. And this is where it all begins. All right, you have to start with mastering your body language. You have to start that way. What this looks like is, when you're sitting, open up a little bit. Like, don't sit like that. Like, lean back, open up your shoulders, open up your legs, kick back a little bit. It gives good confidence. When you're standing, stand with your shoulders up. And by the way, a Harvard study found that people who stood tall and took up space increased their testosterone by 20% and lowered stress hormones in just 2 minutes. Now, think about that for a second. So if you're just stressed out and your testosterone's low, which if you're like in your 50s and you're working a high stress job, it's happening daily. So if you stand up straight, put your shoulders back, and just take up some space, according to a Harvard study, testosterone boosts by 20% in just 2 minutes, and stress hormones go down. It's a big one. It's a really big one. Keep open body language. Like, just always keep that open body language. Anytime you're talking to somebody, keep it open. Keep it open. Don't close it off. Keep it open. If you're like on a train or something, just sit. Just take over some space. Just take over some space. Get your shoulders back. And keep open body language is the big ones. And this is something that we can easily do, because again, it's going to help you physically as well. Control your voice and speech. This is something that I struggle with. Slow down. Sound more confident. If you're talking to a girl and you just can't wait to talk to her, and you can't wait to tell about your job, and you can't wait to tell about your new car, and you can't wait to tell about your weekend, you can't wait. You look like you're desperate. You look like you're desperate. And you do that by simply just slowing down your voice. Just slow it down. Take it down an octave. Slow it down. Lower your tone slightly. Cut out weak phrases like, I think, maybe. Replace them with certainty. Like, this is going to happen, or I am going to do this. Honestly, this is something that's easy to do too, because, if you're looking at the 5 steps, what you got so far is you got take up space, put up your shoulders, open up, slow down. It's pretty easy to do. Step 3, develop competence. Now, this is something that's a little easier said than done, because competence, it's not pretending that you're valuable. It's knowing you're valuable. Like anybody can pretend they have value. Well, actually, I don't think they can. People try to pretend they have value when they don't really believe it, and it shows. But if you know you have value, and you do have value, you have to know that. You have to know that you have value. You have to know that you bring value to the table, that when you're meeting somebody, that you bring value to that conversation. Know that you bring value. Know that you have skills. Be more confident in those. Obviously, if you're a concrete person, like you lay concrete for a living, and you're at a car convention, that might not be your thing. But if you're at a concrete convention, you're going to be very confident as you have conversations with people, simply because you're focused on the things you have skills in. So you really have to be more focused internally on the things that you're good at, regardless of what those things are. And it's going to make you become more confident. Get good at something. Like start focusing on things, your career, fitness, hobby, that sort of thing. Challenge yourself to learn new skills. Learn a new language. That builds confidence. And all these small wins are just going to simply build your competence. And your competence is huge because it's not just, again, pretending you have value. It's knowing you have value. All right, step number 4, train yourself for discomfort. This is a big one, and this is something that actually took me out of my shell when I did this. According to the University of California, they found that people who regularly stepped out of their comfort zone become significantly more confident over time. Now, how I did this was I would just talk to anybody. I'd talk to the old lady down the street, or I'd talk to a friend, or I'd talk to anybody. Like if I was at a bar by myself trying to meet somebody, I don't do that anymore, but back in the day when I was doing that, I would just talk to anybody. If an old man sat next to me, I just start asking him how he's doing. And I think this helps because, like, even if you get on the train, for example, just start chatting with people. When I was in New York City, I noticed that when people get on the train, they don't make eye contact. They do all the cross their arms, looked at like it's, and I kind of bothered me being from the Midwest. I thought, well, I can't do that. So I just finally was like, hey, how's your day going? And and they'd always lighten up like, it's good. How's your, like you could see they were glad somebody was talking to them. And I think we believe that if we talk to somebody, it's going to freak somebody out for some reason. And maybe it will, but that's their problem. That's not your problem. If you're not coming off as creepy or something like that, if you're just simply, how's your day today? And they have a problem with that, that's their problem. That had nothing to do with you. That's something that they're dealing with. So how can we fix this? Well, start small talk. Talk to strangers. Speak up in meetings. Any chance you get to just chat with people, you should. Because speaking up in meetings is very uncomfortable for many people. Talking to strangers is very uncomfortable. So you're taking yourself outside of the comfort zone. Get comfortable with rejection. It makes you fearless. This is a big one. I remember going to, and again, I'm just reflecting on my 20s and my 30s. When I did go, I went to bars and clubs and stuff and would try to meet women. And so I'm reflecting on that. And when I remember one time going to a club with my friends, and I decided I was going to get over my approach anxiety, and I was just going to approach one woman after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other, and get rejected and rejected and rejected and rejected. And I did. And it was great. After that, by about the 5th one, I wasn't afraid to talk to anybody. I needed to work on my approach at that point, but I definitely didn't have any approach anxiety after that. And that's really kind of, again, training yourself to accept rejection is huge. Because I believe, honestly, because I remember in 3rd grade, when I liked that girl, I remember I was wanting to make a move on her for like a year. And I just simply couldn't figure out how to do that. And, well, I figure out how to get the nerve to do it. And fear restricted me forever. I never did tell that girl how I felt about her. And I always rejected that in my own life. Like, what were you afraid of? Like, why were you so afraid? She's not going to beat you up. She's not, at least I didn't think she was. She's not going to kill you. She's not going to yell at you. The only thing she possibly do is reject you. So the sooner that you could get that through your head, that used to rejection, the better off you're going to be and the more confident you're going to be. All right. And finally, step 5. Detach yourself from other people's opinions. This was something that I had to deal with because I had a friend group growing up that would often kind of tell me things about myself that didn't make me feel very good about myself, that I believed in. It made me a lot less of a person in my own head, and I really kind of had to, I can't, that's not who I am. That's who they say I am. And a lot of that was jealousy or them just trying to get at me, how friends do sometimes. But you have to detach yourself from other people's opinion. This is the biggest mind shift that confident men make because they don't seek approval. That's the number one quality in a confident man. I care less what you think. The second you care less what anybody thinks, that's when you're a confident man. When you could approach a woman and be like, I could care less what she thinks. I don't care what she does at all. That's the number one sign of being a confident man. So you have to detach yourself of what other people think of you. Let them live by their own values. If they're great at golf and you're not, and they're just letting you know how terrible you are at golf all the time, don't talk to them. Like who cares? And it really comes down to, you need to accept that not everyone will like you, and that's okay. That's okay. A lot of people aren't going to like you. A lot of people don't like me. A lot of people don't like me. Focus on your standards, not validating from others. Like if you believe a certain thing, just believe a certain thing. You don't need approval from others. The moment you stop seeking approval, people will naturally respect you more. And I believe that to be wholeheartedly true. So there you go. How do we do this? We got to look confident. It isn't about being perfect. It's about owning who you are and building yourself up every day. And we do that by these 5 steps. Master your body language. Just stand up straight, kick your shoulders back, take up some space, slow down, take your voice down an octave when you talk. Develop confidence in your own life. Like, know you're good at stuff. You're good at stuff. You got stuff. Know that. Know it to be true. Train yourself in discomfort. Get used to it. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. And even if you're in a relationship, it's uncomfortable. Detach from other people's opinions of you. This is a big one, because I'm still carrying around stuff my siblings thought of me. Get rid of that nonsense. And if you do this, that's easy stuff. Sit back, shoulders back, slow down your talk, believe in yourself, and get used to rejection. That's kind of what it all comes down to. So there you go, man. Any thoughts or insight on any of this, definitely put it below. I hope this has been helpful for you. It's something that has been helpful for me over the years, and even as I chat about it, I think, boy, I need to show more confidence in my own life. That's for sure.